Welcome to the fundamental update for 15th of March 2026. And you all know in this channel I drop updates for what is going to happen in the week we are currently on and what happened in the previous week. So I need you to stay in touch with the channel. If you're not following the YouTube channel, make sure to follow and also make sure to drop a comment, because that is the only way you can help me and push me to keep giving out things like this. So I want you to understand that currently we are facing geopolitical uncertainty. We all know what that is, right? We are currently in a period of war, and this is affecting some currencies positively, and this is affecting some currency negatively. So the currencies that this war is affecting positively are called geopolitical beneficiaries, and that is what we're going to be talking about. This fundamental update is going to let you all know the currencies you should be focusing on during this particular war event, right? Which is going to help you grow your account, or also going to help you predict what the market is going to do this week. So without wasting much time, let's go straight into it. First of all, we all know that gold is a safe haven commodity, right? This means during times of war, gold usually skyrockets. Gold usually go to the moon. You understand? But currently, gold is selling. I explained why on my WhatsApp status. I also explained why in the previous fundamental update. This is because investors are not currently focusing on gold. They don't really care much about gold. Now, one thing you have to understand about fundamentals is nothing is set in stone. Because gold is a safe haven commodity, doesn't mean every time that there's war, gold is going to be doing well, gold is going to be bullish. No, this is why the macroeconomics course is very, very important. I explain most of these things to my students, and I let them know when they should be buying gold. It's not every time there's a war event you buy gold. Most traders just do things based on what they hear or what they saw somewhere. But you have to understand that trading, nothing is set on stone. Anything can change. Tomorrow there can be war and gold will be selling massively. Another day there can be war and dollar will be selling massively. This is why you have to understand fundamentals perfectly. You have to understand what the market is doing. Do you understand? So investors' focus is not currently on gold. Why? Because of the US oil. Now, oil prices is literally going to the moon this period. Why is that happening? Because the attack is against Iran, and Iran is one of the largest oil suppliers. You understand? So the supply disruption on the oil made oil price increase. Why? Because supply of oil have reduced, but demand is high. So a lot of people are demanding for oil, and at the same time people are not getting much. So what do? They increase the price of oil, and that's why the oil price is increasing. What is happening to the oil? You can see the oil price is increasing drastically. Now, the fact that the oil price is increasing is also affecting dollar positively. Dollar is rising positively, and investors' focus are now going to the geopolitical beneficiaries, which are the currencies that are doing well during this particular war event. Now, pay close attention, because I'm going to be telling you the currencies that you should be focusing on this week, right? But before we do that, let us go straight to what we had previously in our economic calendar. We are currently looking at March 8th till March 21st. We are currently at March 15th. So we are looking at the economic calendar of what happened previous week and what is going to happen this week. Now, you all know that there's something called market sentiment. I explained this thing to my macroeconomic students. If you really, really want to understand fundamentals, trust me, there's beauty in understanding where the market is heading to. Beauty in understanding all these things I'm saying. So market sentiment, it just simply tells you what the investors are focusing on. Now, if you know how to read fundamentals, you know that currently the investors are not focusing on economic calendar. Why? Because there's currently something they're focusing on, which is the war. So all these results doesn't really matter. You can see CPI came out neutral for dollar, which doesn't really matter. Unemployment claims came out neutral. It doesn't really matter. You can see card economy, their employment rates came out negative. It doesn't really matter. Do you understand? Because currently investors are just looking for currencies that are being affected positively by the war. So all these economic indicators, they don't really matter. That's why I didn't really speak much about them in the previous fundamental update. Now, this week's fundamental, or will I say this week economic indicators matters, because this week we're experiencing something called interest rate decisions in most currencies. Starting from the AUD, you can see on Tuesday we're going to be having an interest rate decision. Now, why does this matter? It matters because the war is affecting the interest rate decision. And when it comes to AUD, AUD is one of the geopolitical beneficiaries, which means this is one of the currencies that are benefiting during this particular war event. Now, we all know, the basic knowledge we all know is that AUD is a risk-on currency. What does this mean? Is a currency that only does well when economy, or when the global economy is doing positively well. But why is AUD currently doing well now that we're having war? That's because the oil price also affects Australia positively. Do you understand? It affects the Australian economy positively. So I want you to understand that due to this, inflation is rising on AUD, and this is making them to increase their interest rates. This might be sounding foreign to most of you. That is why I let you all know that the macroeconomics course will break down everything perfectly for you all. You understand? 6 months training, a lifetime mentorship. I'll be giving you all tax research that will help you understand all this perfectly. Sometimes you don't even need my fundamental updates once you have this, because you already know what is going to happen in the market without even my weekly or Sunday fundamental update. Now, if you notice, I only focused on some particular currencies, which is JPY, the AUD, the dollar, right? With this knowledge, you can pick whatever currency you want to focus on. If it's NZD you love the most, you can focus on that. If it's gold you love the most, you can focus on that. If it's even silver you love trading, BTC you love trading, you can read the macroeconomics event that's happening on any currency, any stock, any cryptocurrency of your choice, once you have the full knowledge, right? So in case you're interested in this, make sure to text me up on WhatsApp, or you can just use the link in the description to just register for the class, and automatically you'll be added to our community and you'll be part of those who are benefiting from this. So without wasting much time, let's go back to this. This week we're going to be having the interest rate decisions on not only AUD but also on dollar, right? You can see on Wednesday we also have FOMC meeting on dollar. The federal fund rate, which is the interest rate decision, is already predicted to come out neutral, but for AUD it's predicted to come out positively. Do you understand? Now, I told you all how to trade fundamentals. You don't trade fundamentals of the day of the release. You trade fundamentals days before it's being released. Now, if you notice, last week AUD was positive. Why? Because interest rate decision was already predicted to come out positive. AUD was buying massively, but on Friday AUD sold massively. Do you understand? I'll tell you what we should be expecting for this week, don't worry. So dollar, we also have interest rate decision on dollar. JPY, we also have interest rate decision on JPY. So the market is going to be very volatile this week, so I need you all to pay close attention to what is going to be happening in your economic calendar. So the economic calendar actually matters for this week, even though we have war going on, right? So let us go to the chart and see the geopolitical beneficiaries, which are the currencies that are going to be doing well during times of war, and also what we should be expecting for this week. So first of all, I want you all to understand that by now you already know that dollar is one of the currencies that are going to be doing well during this particular war event, right? Yes, dollar is doing well. You shouldn't focus on gold. Gold is not going to buy. Your mind should not be on gold. So let us look at DXY. You can see DXY have been buying massively. We should still be expecting more buys on dollar. Why? Because dollar is one of the currencies that will be doing well during this time of war. If this war should continue, oil price should keep rising. Interest rate decisions are going to be bullish on dollar, which is going to make dollar to keep buying massively. And if we are looking for analysis, I have an analysis for you on USD CHF, right? Voila, this is something I did for a particular student of mine that came for private lessons, and I told her that USD CHF is going to be positive. I also told most of my students in the group that dollar is going to be positive in my community, right? I usually give all these updates to my students. So you can see dollar is positive. You should focus on it. You should look for zones in which you're going to buy. You can see this is a particular key level which I know USD CHF might react from, but it's still neutral, which means I wouldn't buy once market gets there, right? I wouldn't buy once market gets there. I will patiently wait. Do you understand? You can also look at Euro USD. I wouldn't share that one. That one will be for my VIP Signal members. You understand? That one will be for my VIP Signal member. But there's one in which I gave out, which was on NZD USD. I gave it out to both my status viewers and those who are interested, but it wasn't triggered. Just few pips before it is going to be triggered, you can see market left us. Market did not fully sweep liquidity, so I was hoping market to sweep all the liquidity before it actually gets to this level, but I'm still holding my limit. Regardless, I'm still holding my limit. We don't know what news events might pop up. NZD is having, interest rate decision. This might make NZD go up a bit. And once it sweep this liquidity over here, we might see a massive sell to the downside. So I'm still, bearish on NZD USD. A student of mine came, he told me, oh, he sees buys on NZD US, and I confidently told him that NZD US is going to be bearish. Why? Because dollar is positive during this geopolitical war event. And I so much have confidence when it comes to fundamentals. I don't care what your technical analysis says. If it's order block, FVG, I don't care what it says. As long as my fundamental is telling me this is going to happen, I will confidently tell you that your bias is wrong if it's going against my fundamental update. And most of the time, 99% of the time, because I don't want to say something is 100% accurate, 99% of the time, all the fundamentals I've read, all the ones that I got the readings positively, came out the way it was predicted. Those who have been following me for a very long time already know this. Those who followed me last year made so much money from my fundamental updates, especially my students. So that is not something I'm even going to even hide the fact about. So NZD USD is still going to be bearish, except if the fundamentals change, then we can see something different. Do you understand? So let us go to another important currency which we focus on, which is the AUD. Now, currently AUD is doing well because the rise in oil price is affecting the Australian economy positively. We're expecting interest rate hike. So you can see this is what GBP AUD look like. You can see I should be expecting a sell. AUD is currently positive, so GBP AUD should be selling. I'm not really sure about this zone. I'm still going to wait for liquidity sweep in this zone, but if it gives me the type of thing I want, because I usually wait for liquidity sweep before I enter any of my POIs, so once it gives me that perfect entry, I'm going for it. You understand? I'm going for it. I'll obviously send the signal to my signal members as well. And the next one in which I'm showing you, which is the last one, is the AUD JPY. Currently, I've already showed you all a particular zone that AUD JPY is going to buy from this zone. Now, this zone is still neutral. Why is it neutral? Because we haven't gotten a confirmation. I always tell you guys, never buy from a key level. Key level can sweep you out. You can see something like this key level. You can look at this previous key level. The market literally swept all the liquidities in this previous key level before buying. So key levels are zones of manipulations. I explain this more to my students. So if you're buying at key levels or selling at key levels, you are at the wrong side. You should always wait for confirmation before the market would respect you. Do you understand? Most times market sweep liquidity. So I expect market to actually sweep liquidity in this key level, maybe come back to the key level and start reacting to it before we now see a buy. You can see multiple sweep of liquidity before market actually start buying, because a lot of people, a lot of investors are focusing on AUD currently, and AUD JPY is supposed to be bullish. Now, JPY economy is affected negatively by the oil rise. So JPY is currently weak, AUD is currently strong. This is the best currency to focus on. Even USD JPY, because JPY is weak, is affected negatively by the oil rise, affected negatively by the war. But if you remember, this is why I said nothing is set on stone when it comes to fundamental. If you remember, JPY is a safe haven currency. JPY is supposed to be doing well during times of war, but you can see it's not all wars that JPY is going to be doing well. It's not all war that gold is going to be rising. This is why you need knowledge. Knowledge is power. You see, all these things are things that people will be confused. A lot of forex traders right now, I can bet you for a fact, are confused. Why is gold not buying when we are experiencing war? I know most of you watching this video have asked yourself this question, but you can see I am here to explain it vividly for you. Why gold is not buying, why most of these currencies you should be focusing on. Do you understand? So that is just simply it. What I just want to let you all know, your focus should be on USD and AUD. USD is going to be bullish, AUD is going to be bullish. JPY is weak. Gold, don't even look for sales in gold, because gold might just be ranging. Do you understand? Leave gold alone. So that is it for this fundamental update. In case you have any question, remember you can ask me on Sundays. If you're not my student, I can also do analysis for you on Sundays, right? For if you're a student of mine, you can ask me questions anytime. I'm willing to answer you. I'll also be dropping more updates for my students in the community. With that being said, have a lovely week ahead, and this is going to be a profitable week for sure.